I offer my apologies. I didn't check back in when I got to the anchorage in Portland Harbor there at the north end of the Crookeds. It wasn't the planned stop, but my whisker pole broke, so that was no fun, and the winds were just too strong. They had built up to around 20 knots at least, I believe. Hard to tell when you're going downwind, taking it apparent wind speed and stuff. But yep, so I just ducked inside there. Had a very interesting anchorage. It was kind of weaved in through coral and stuff to get in there, which was neat. But I think it was the right thing to do, given the circumstances with the weather and the waves and stuff like that. It was good to get a good night's sleep then, instead of just going straight through and doing the double overnight to Clarencetown. But yeah, it is currently 3:15 in the afternoon, and I don't know if you can see it, but the island is still back there. So, I don't know, maybe wondering why it's so late and I just got moving. Well, I intended to spend another night there and hang out, watch the football game, and just kind of mosey on to Georgetown. But it turns out that the app I was using for weather, Windy, when you slide through the timeline and look at the maps, it takes a bit to update and load. And apparently I slid through too quickly and the maps didn't update. So I didn't see that there was like a 25 knot storm rolling in starting tomorrow night, coming out of the northeast, which would have bowled right through that anchorage, as well as I obviously wouldn't be able to get up to Clarencetown or Georgetown in any meaningful amount of time. So I panicked and I didn't panic, but I assessed and figured out kind of where I need to go, and I've decided that Rum Cay is where I'm headed. It's well protected from the northeasterly winds that are predicted, as well as it's only 50 miles or so from Georgetown, so that's just a long day sail in good wind, which it's looking like Thursday of next week I'll have some decent wind to make a crossing. But I'm glad it's my own damn fault for not checking multiple apps and double checking. But nothing I can do about it now. The depth sounder goes off every time I get over 1,000 feet of water. It starts beeping at me. I'm not gonna hit anything. So yeah, I'm moving quickly. I've been averaging around 5.5 to 6 knots since I left, so that's a good sign. The winds are gonna lighten up and die by at least 4 a.m. tomorrow. We'll see. I think around 10 o'clock tonight they're gonna get pretty light. So what I'll probably end up doing is just trying to get close to Rum Cay, maybe motor a little bit towards the end. They're saying if I average 5 knots, I'll get there by midnight or 1 a.m. So 10 o'clock, if I'm still 10 nautical miles out, I may motor for an hour or so and get within a couple miles of the island, and then hang out until the morning, because there's a decent amount of coral heads getting into the anchorage that I'm going to. Woo-hoo. I don't know if you can see the horizon there. The problem is that the swells are wrapping around the islands and hitting me from the side. Nope, there goes the horizon. So, yeah, it'll be fine. Once I distance myself a little bit from the island, I hope they're all gonna organize and stack up a little bit. But as of right now, pleasantly fast sailing. When I'm not getting totally beat up. Wish I had a whisker pole. I'm sure you can hear all that in the background. But yeah, so I'll hopefully be wrapped up by 10 o'clock tonight. Give it 7 hours of decent sailing, and then motor in the morning with some decent light for navigating the coral heads. Stop beeping. So yeah. in the meantime, catching up on the logbook, I wanted to give a little shout out. One of my friends on Change Up, Jackie Fouchier. I asked her because she was doodling if she would do the cover of my logbook, because I would always previously the back and the front look identical, so I would open it up, like this, and oh, wrong side. You close it, you flip it over, and then you open it up into the actual meat. So she took some inspiration from the logo a little bit, here and there. So yeah, it's Cooper's ship's log. So yeah, lots of fun. But primarily what I'm going to be doing is catching up in the big one here. It's so noisy. I may rig up what's left of my whisker pole and oh dear, and see if I can get it to hold it a little bit still. But sorry, rolling all over the place. Let's see, where am I? Back here. Yeah, so I'm a little bit behind. I think I'm on like the 5th and it's the 13th. So, yep, but it's coming along. I've written like 200 pages so far in here, which granted it's handwriting and small pages, but sorry. Here I am. So yeah, we'll see how the night goes. I'm missing the Super Bowl, unfortunately. But hey, I'll be able to say during Super Bowl LXI or whatever it is that I was at sea, between a couple of Bahamian islands. So that'll be cool. And I'll get to check in and see the score and stuff when I get to Anchorage tonight or tomorrow. So yeah, that's what's up. The motor has been working beautifully. Here, my dad was complaining that he hasn't even seen the motor yet. Just try and make sure that nothing's gonna go everywhere. I have no cup holders, so soda on the boat is a little sketchy. Whoa, stumbling around here. So, maybe I'll show it to you another time, but you can see it's a lot smaller than the old one. Gotta figure out a way to lock it in place so it's not pivoting around all night. I heard that a little earlier, but yeah. Seas are tolerable, barely. We'll see how I feel 7 hours from now when it's the middle of the night. But yeah, here I go. An unplanned trip, as they all are. So yeah, as usual, I like to check in as the sun's going down. I got another couple hours to go. Probably at least another 6 hours to go, I believe. Yeah, it's almost 6 o'clock right now, so yeah, it's just as rolly as it was before. Oh, you can see how far that pole is dipping and rising there. That's part and parcel for what this boat does going downwind. So I think it's going to be a nice one tonight underneath those clouds. So yeah, very picturesque. I've rigged up pole. It's tied. I drilled 2 holes in it and tied it to the ring there, and then furled up the jib to compensate for the shorter pole. But here, let me try and just keep the phone with the boat. You can watch the horizon. Miserable. There's the big long period swells coming from over there, which aren't too bad, kind of right off my stern. And then there's this little chop that's coming from off my aft quarter, and it just throws me around. And it has no right. The wind's coming from over there, and there's chop coming from that way. Gah. But hey, it is what it is. I can complain about it, but it ain't gonna fix it. So yeah, wind should be holding out here for another couple hours, and then I'm hoping, praying, crossing my fingers, and just hoping that the sea state dies kind of with it, because these seas with no wind would be not that much fun. I have the auto helm as well. It turns on and works, but doesn't really drive me straight, which is odd. So I'll have to figure that out. I think it's just not calibrated yet. I have to do 2 slow circles with the boat to calibrate it. And I just haven't done that. It's like the stock calibration. So it also, I'm worried that the mounting point isn't correct, but I'll figure that out when the time comes. So yeah, I'm gonna watch the sunset and enjoy. I'll probably not check in when I get there because it's gonna be really freaking late and I'm not gonna be in the mood. But yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm gonna enjoy this. Good morning. It's a little dark here, so you might not be able to see very well. But there's a gnarly front coming in right now. And I'm almost there. That's the island. Oh, it's still a little bumpy out here right now. I'm gonna pop the motor on and try and get into the anchorage. Before too long. The camera's dirty. Whatever. So, neutral. Gave me more grief than it usually does. Alright, well I gotta navigate here, so I figured I'd give you an update. Sun's coming up. Oh, it's because I'm zoomed in, isn't it? Oh, here. There we go. Well, pardon the shoddy camera work. There's the clouds. And rain. It looks like there's already rain coming down on the far bank there. So, I'll just suffer. It's fine. Alright, gotta go.